What's up, everyone? Back. It's day 2 of this project, but it's been a couple days since I was actually working on the bike. A couple things to kind of run through. One, I decided to take the day off yesterday to register the bike because I moved to a new state, shopped insurance, and highly recommend. I'm not going to put out any insurance companies here because there's no affiliation, but I'm saving about $200 a year just because I shopped around. Between my car and my motorcycle policy. So just a FYI, once a year, I usually do that, but I've been slipping for the last few years, and I'm glad I checked it out because $200 is $200. Same exact coverage across the board. That might differ, state to state, but same carrier, same state, different carrier, same state, saving about $200. So I also had to run to the dealership to grab some oil filters because I'm going to do all my oils. And I also was taking a look at my front tire, my front wheel, and decided that I knew I was going to need a new tire for next season. But I plan to do a lot of fall riding in October. So I spent some time yesterday ordering a tire, going through all of that, on top of also, just the day-to-day life stuff. So back this morning. Gonna put the plate on, gonna finish putting this tube up, and then I'm just waiting on the tire. When the tire gets here, pop the tire on, balance the wheel, and put the tire on, take the bike for a quick ride, warm up the oil, switch out the fluids, and then I'm good for the rest of the year, and then good for the start of next year too, right? I could just store the bike over the winter and not have to worry about doing any work to feel roadworthy come springtime, other than your general just checkup. The other thing you'll see is I changed the position of where the bike is and where I'm recording from. So this camera, when I went home the other day and looked at the video that I recorded for the first part of this, I thought a frontal view would have been great, but I didn't realize how awesome this camera really is. The clarity was amazing, but it was zoomed in so close. And the Canon EOS R10, no affiliation here either, it's just the camera that I went with, has a cool little screen that I'm looking at that you can't see. I'll take a picture and I'll post it in the video. So you're not going to see much from the first part of the install, unfortunately, but I'll walk through it again now just because I'll just fast forward through a lot of that stuff. But this is really a bolt-on, bolt-off. Other than this being a really snug fit, and these are I don't know the best way to articulate it. You could buy things like this on Amazon, on eBay, and they're not expensive. And it's hard to find them, at least in my experience, or in stock from like reputable manufacturers. But since they're just an aesthetic item, I really wasn't too concerned about that. However, fitment was an issue. So you'll see I was really hammering away to get these things in. The result of that was a little bit of marking on the triple trees, which is okay because once they're in, it kind of masks that. But it's not a true slide-in fit. But once the fork tube went through, it was fine. From a diameter perspective, it's okay. It was really the length to fit in between the triple trees. So that was an issue I ran into day one. The sleeves, the boots, they were fine. They're just a slip-on, and then up at the top you put a zip tie in. And then it's really just your 2 screws here, your one up here. There's a screw at the bottom of this fork that pinches the axle in, so your right fork. And then I had to disconnect the brake line to get the front wheel off. And honestly, my reservoir was about half full anyway, so I decided, why not? I'll drain it, put brand new fluid in everywhere. Brakes, all of that good stuff. I'll do the rear brake as well. And that's it. So I'm going to get to it. Thanks for following along. Thanks for checking things out. If you have any questions, please comment below. Subscribe. And hopefully this helps someone change the look of the front of the bike quite significantly, but it's also quite a significant. It's going to be very unexciting or non-exciting video for something as extremely complex process for nothing other than fork boots. So, all right, let's do it. Yep. Oh, there you go. One side's off. And just take the boot. The boot just slides right over. So, these actually are a very tight fit. So what I decided to do is take the fork back off, and I'm going to get it lined up and in there so that I could just slide the tube right over it. So, unexpected, but no big deal. Well, this would be so much easier if I had like a table grinder, because I would just grind this a little bit, and I took the lazy way out, or the shortcut, and I'm chipping the paint on my triple tree here. Not a huge deal, but you know, obviously could spot that up and fix it, but you know, it's amazing if you have the right tool for the job, or even tools that you just have and you weren't expecting to use it for the job, like a tabletop grinder, which I had last winter when I did the first phase of this bike. But it's not the case, so trying to figure out how to get this, and each time I hammer it, it gets to a certain point, it pushes itself right back out. So, and I don't even have like a hand file to file it by hand, so well, keep trying, keep at it. Sweat my ass off though, holy cow. I think I'm stuck. I don't think I could do anything. This is what happens when you buy garbage from online, you know, and just for the look, you know, I've already nicked it up, hitting it in, which is easy to hide as well, but just the point that, you know, it says it's going to fit, and it doesn't. So, first side's done with a nick out of the paint in my front fender. Some marks here on the triple tree, but you know, that I could just chalk up as probably would have happened at some point anyway from a rock, you know, whatever. It's not ideal, but at least it's not right on the top of it. It's kind of hidden a little bit. But about an hour on the dot from putting the bike on the stand to getting one side done. So, I don't want to jinx myself, but hopefully the other side is just as quick, if not quicker. Whew. But you can see there, this light's bright, hold on. Not sure if you heard that, but I wasn't completely centered. I felt that the fork tube was a little pinched, so I tapped it from behind a few times, and as soon as it aligned perfectly, the fork tube dropped, and it was just a half an inch of anything. I'm not worried about it. But now, hopefully, it'll slide right up, and well, hopefully I don't jinx myself. I know someone's going to say it in the comments. I should have known better, and I should have. I took the easy way out, or the lazy way out, or the quick way out. There's so many things I could have done. I could have wrapped this with tape and cardboard or whatever. Could have drove home, got the rubber mallet, but sure enough, the adjustment notch on the ratchet poked a hole through the towel, and boom. So, I'm not going to sweat it too much. I'm not going to get too bummed out about it because it was my fault, and I certainly know better, but I just wanted to get it done. And with how hard it is to take these off and on, I think I'm going to go and either try and touch up paint, but unfortunately this black is not identical to the touch up black that I have. And I think taking them off is just out of the question. So, I don't know, maybe I hate to say it, but maybe a sticker. Until, I'm sure one day down the road it's going to bother me enough where I will drop the forks again. But the reality is too, early next week, the weather's supposed to be ideal. Leaves are changing up here in New England. So I think that I want to get it done. Maybe over the winter time I'll get bored for a couple days and I'll decide, hey, you know what? I'm gonna do it. But lesson learned the hard way. Unfortunately, it's really not a lesson because I knew better. But for all you watching, don't make the same stupid mistake that I made. Dumb. But I can't change it, so I really want to ride next week. And the reality is that's something you could also Photoshop really quickly. If you take a picture, you could certainly mask that imperfection. And if anybody sees it in real life and makes a comment, I'll just have to tell them that I'm an idiot. So, but the good news is it did pop in. The fork tube should be able to go up now, so I got the job done, but not the right way, and thankfully just an aesthetic issue. But don't be lazy. Moral of the story.